Alright guys, now we're going to do part 2, which is the last layer. I had to stop it short because it was over 10 minutes, so we're doing part 2 now, which is the last layer I already told you. Now, this is the hardest layer because it has 4 algorithms you have to memorize. And it's the hardest because we're going to do the last layer without screwing up any of the top 2 layers, which is really hard to do. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a cross on the bottom layer, and my bottom happens to be yellow, because opposite from white is yellow. So, to make this last layer, we're going to do a cross like we did with the top, except we don't have to get the cross and right as the right place. So it doesn't have to be green and yellow, it just has to be a cross. That's all. So we have these first 2. Now it might look different with yours, but what you're going to do is if you have one looking like this backwards L shape, you're going to memorize this algorithm right here. Bottom cross. Alright, so it's front up, right up counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, front counterclockwise. So, that's if you have this backwards L shape. Now you might have a different shape instead of a backwards L. You might have one going straight across. You might already have a cross, which is fine. You might have one going straight across. If you have one going straight across, you're going to make it so the going straight across is facing horizontal. If you have this backwards L shape, you want it exactly like this. You don't want it like this when you're going to do it. You want it exactly like this, where it's straight across, or this backwards L shape, like that. You can't have it turn like that. It has to be shaped like that when you do it. So now you're going to go ahead and do that algorithm. So I got to remember it. This is bad. Up, right, up counterclockwise like that. Now you see that you have a cross, right? There's your cross. It's not perfect. See? But we got our cross. Now, what we have to do is we have to get these corners in the right place. Now, they don't have to look right. They just have to be in the right place. But you see how this is blue, orange, and yellow? Blue, orange, and yellow? That's not in the right place. That's blue. That's supposed to be your blue, green, and orange. So what you need to do is you need to find a corner where it needs to be. So, green, orange, and yellow is in the right place. Blue, orange, and yellow is in the right place. Red, green, and yellow is not in the right place because it needs to be there. So now that we know these are in the right place, we need to switch these 2 corners to be in the right place. So now you're going to memorize this other algorithm. And all this algorithm does is it swaps the 2 corners on the right side. So if all of your corners are messed up, you need to get it to where you need to swap the 2 outer ones. So you'll do the one where it swaps those 2, and then you'll just turn around and do the algorithm again to swap those 2. But since I only need to swap these 2 right here, you want to make sure the 2 that you need to swap are on your right side. So if you know that you're on your right side, you have your cross, and then you have the 2 that you need to swap on the right side. You'll memorize this algorithm right here to swap those 2 on the right side. So, now I'm going to go ahead and swap those 2 since these are on the right place. So you'll do this, 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 this. And it'll be in the description again. You just have to memorize that. So now that we have it, we're going to look around and see if we did it right. So we need to swap these 2, right? Now we have it in the right place where it's blue, yellow, and red. Green, yellow, and red. Green, orange, and yellow. And blue, orange, and yellow. So now all our corners are in the right place. This is where it gets even more difficult. So now we have our cross, and we have all of our corners in the right place. But they don't look right. They're not all yellow on the top. So now what this algorithm does is it makes it all yellow on the top. So, and it makes all your corners right. So what you're going to do is whenever you do this, you're going to come up with a whole bunch of different ways it's going to look. It might have this pattern where it has a cross and then the 2 corners like that. It might have it where it's like this, where it has the cross and then 1 in the top. There's all different sorts. But what you're going to do is you're just going to toy around with this one algorithm. And if it looks like this, then you're going to have it looking like exactly like this. If it has it where it's a cross and then 1 in the top, you want it exactly like that. So, since for this one, it's the same algorithm for any shape it looks like. So what you're going to do is you're going to memorize this algorithm right here for orienting the corners. So just like fancy words for it. But now what we're gonna do is it just gets really confusing. I know, but it'll take you a while to learn. But you're just gonna need to learn to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that one algorithm. See, now mine looks like a cross again. And since I know which way it needs to be, which is hard to explain, it'll take me an hour to explain how it needs to be, but you just need to keep doing this algorithm no matter which way it's shaped until you get something that looks like this. When you have your cross and then one in the top corner, when it looks like this, you know you're good. Now what you're going to do is you're going to do that same algorithm with it looking like the cross and the one in the corner. So you're just going to do that same algorithm over and over again until you get a cross with the one in the corner looking like that. So now you're going to do that same algorithm again. You might need to do it twice for that corner and then the one in the corner and the cross. But once you get that cross and one in the corner, you know you're good, because now you only have two more times, at most two more times you need to do that algorithm, at least one more time. So for me, it was I only needed to do it one more time with the cross in the corner. But now that I did it, I have it all top yellow. I have all the corners in the right place, but I don't have the edges in the right place. Now when you do this, you might get everything right and you might have completed the Rubik's Cube, or you might be like me, where you have the edges wrong, but the corners should be alright. All the corners should be right. Everything else should be right. The only thing that should be wrong at this point are these edges on the bottom layer. That one's right, but all these other ones are wrong. So now what you're going to do is, if all four of them are wrong, then you're just going to do this algorithm. You do this algorithm no matter what. Permuting edges. You do this algorithm right here. Alright? You do it for, if you have all edges wrong, if all edges are not in the right place, then it doesn't matter which way the Rubik's Cube is facing. But if you have one side right, you take your one side that's right and you put it on the left side, so that you have this on the left side. And now what you're going to do is you're going to do that one algorithm. Whoa, I forgot how to do it. Alright, yeah. You do this algorithm. And there's two scenarios at this point. Either you still have these three wrong. If you had all of them wrong at first, you're gonna have one side that's right, and you're just gonna put it on the left side and then do that. Or if you had three wrong, the Rubik's Cube will either be solved or the same three will still be wrong, and you'll just do the algorithm one more time. And once you do it one more time, it'll be done. But for me, I only needed to do it once with that one algorithm, and I had those three wrong, remember? So all I did was just change them. And now I've completed the Rubik's Cube. I know at this point it seems daunting and it seems really hard, and you watched pretty much 20 minutes of video to learn it, and I know you're still going to have trouble with it, but it'll take you at least probably an hour or two to just get everything down. But I think my video was pretty informative, so I hope that I taught you. If you have any questions, either comment me or mail me, send me a message. I'll try to get back to you. I probably will, because I check YouTube like every day. So, if you have any questions, if you get stuck at a part, just tell me. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I promise. But you should be done at this point. So, that's it.